All right, New York Knicks get the Giannis Antetokounmpo news we've all been waiting for, but there are two caveats. Just a clickbait ass title by the Sporting News, but we'll get into Giannis and kind of the trade deadline stuff and see if anything's going to happen. I don't really think Giannis is going to get traded, honestly, but it is exciting. It's January 28th when I'm filming this. The trade deadline's February 5th, so we'll see if anything happens. I think everyone teams that want to make any little trade or do anything, I think the entire NBA is just waiting to see if Giannis gets traded. Then if he does, we'll see all the dominoes start to fall and more trades get made. But in recent days, prominent NBA reporters have discussed the possibility that the Portland Trail Blazers will deal two-time champion Drew Holiday before the Thursday's trade deadline. I don't know what that has to do with Giannis. They're basically saying here that Giannis might want to team back up with Drew Holiday, and I guess he might. Drew Holiday's still a decent player. He's not really close to what he was when the Bucks won the championship. Just to be fair, he's still a good player, but he's not that level of defender and just all around player he used to be. But according to Mark Stein, the New York Knicks are showing interest in Holiday, while Ian Begley reported Tuesday that teams interested in acquiring Giannis, like the Knicks, believe they will have a better shot at trading for the two-time MVP if they can reunite him with Holiday. They might as well trade for fucking Thanasis Antetokounmpo and bring Alice Antetokounmpo. I think that's his other brother, Alex. Bring him out of the G League or wherever he is and sign both of them, and then you'll have a better chance of signing Giannis because you have this whole fucking family signed to your team. But this shit's funny to me, honestly. Let's sign a player we don't even need on our team, but this player is friends with the player we actually want to get, so that'll give us a better chance at getting Giannis. I don't really believe in that. I don't think Giannis is. I think he does want to get traded. He said probably this year, maybe a few months ago, I think it was before the season started. He says the most important thing to me is competing for a championship. And if that is true, Giannis would have already asked for a trade from the Milwaukee Bucks because wouldn't say that's the worst team in the NBA for him to compete for a championship on, but without Giannis, the Bucks, they basically are the worst team in the NBA. If not, they're right there with Brooklyn, the Pacers, and some of these other, just really bad teams in the NBA. But yeah, that's really funny to me. Let's trade for Drew Holiday. They won a championship back in the day, so maybe Giannis will want to come over here if we sign Drew Holiday, even though we don't think he's so much. Not gonna say he doesn't fit on the team. He fits on pretty much all teams, but he's not necessarily getting them closer to a championship. They're just doing kind of a not so much a PR move, but trying to make a play on Giannis's emotions or whatever they're trying to do. I'm sure Giannis does like Drew Holiday, but I think that's kind of a funny strategy. Antetokounmpo is weighing his options as the Milwaukee Bucks continue to struggle. True Hoops Henry Abbott said per a source, I don't know who that source is. If you have a legit source, you probably list your source, but anyway, he said per a source that the Knicks are on Antetokounmpo's three-team list of preferred destinations. Antetokounmpo is weighing his options as the Milwaukee Bucks continue to struggle. True Hoops Henry Abbott has said per a source. I don't know who his source was. If you have a legitimate source, you probably say the name of your source. But anyway, Henry Abbott said per a source that the Knicks are on Antetokounmpo's three-team list. I think most of us had heard that now. All I've heard is New York's name in the trade talks. I'm a Spurs fan, so we were kind of sprinkled in there a little bit. We have the assets to probably acquire Giannis, but the Bucks had asked the Spurs for Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle. We're not trading either one of those guys, so the Spurs kind of hung up the phone pretty fast. But what most of us have heard is the New York Knicks are his number one destination. Now we have the Heat and the Timberwolves thrown in there as well. Right here from Heat Central, they say one person told me, again, don't list their source, so they could just be throwing stuff out there. But one person told me that Giannis's preferred list is three teams: Heat, Wolves, and the Knicks. He says now another person told me this is not his list, but would not tell me what his list is. He might just be making up things that were never even told to him. Heat culture, is that their official Twitter page? I'm not really sure, but Seems like they're throwing a bunch of random shit out there. So take it all with a grain of salt. But the talks are on for sure. Yeah, the talks are on for sure. They've been on all year long, but just a clickbait ass title, to be totally honest. Knicks get the Giannis Antetokounmpo trade news they've been waiting for. I read the article. There's no news in the article, to be honest, but from my point of view, I don't think Giannis is going to get traded, to be honest. I just don't see it happening before the trade deadline. Milwaukee loves Giannis. Giannis loves Milwaukee. It's like a relationship. You've been with that person for so long and y'all love each other, but you know it's over. You wish the best for each other. Milwaukee wishes the best for Giannis. Giannis wishes the best for the Milwaukee Bucks franchise, but I get it. I'm a Spurs fan. Like when the Kawhi Leonard situation happened, we probably still wanted Kawhi, to be honest. I know I did, but things just went bad. Ginobili and Tony Parker throwing dirt on Kawhi's name. Tony Parker was saying stuff like, "Oh, I've had that same injury," or "I had a worse quad injury, hamstring injury, and I still played through it." So, we were wrong on the Spurs side, just throwing dirt on Kawhi's name, and then Kawhi and his uncle Dennis come back and throw dirt all over the Spurs organization, basically, and then Kawhi left. I still love Kawhi. The Bucks organization will always love Giannis for bringing them a championship, and Giannis will always love the Milwaukee Bucks organization just for the time that he spent there. But from just an aspect of the GM, the front office, building a championship team, they've I want to say they've never built a championship team around Giannis. They did win the championship in, was it 21? I want to say it was 21. I could be wrong, but they won. Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday. I think they had Bobby Portis on that team, Brooke Lopez. It was just a really badass team constructed around Giannis. And now it's been 5 years and they haven't been able to make anything close to even a contender around Giannis Antetokounmpo. So he says his main goal is to compete for championships. And I get it. He's in between. He doesn't want to tell Milwaukee, I want to get traded, and then he thinks he's going to get backlash from the fans. I really don't think he would get backlash from the fans. If if Giannis was on the Spurs, if the Spurs had this whole exact team, as a Spurs fan, I would want Giannis to get traded, to be honest. I'd want us to trade him, get back a lot of first round draft picks and get this rebuild going because Giannis is 30 years old. Um, Probably takes them maybe 3 or 4 years to build another championship level team around him. They don't have a lot of assets. They do have draft assets, but they got to draft the guys 4 or 5 years to develop them. And now Giannis is 34, 35, and you just blew his entire prime basically. So if I'm Giannis, I think he just asked for the trade. Just say to the Bucks, I want to be traded. Name the team you want to get traded to, and then get traded out of there. I guess he still has respect for the organization, as he should. I get it, but if he says he wants to get traded to a specific team, if he says I just want to go to the Knicks, now the Knicks have the leverage and the Bucks won't get back so much in the trade package. So maybe Giannis is thinking about the Bucks and wanting them to get a good package back for him and things like that. Giannis is just seems like a really good man, but again, he just needs to say I don't want to be here and just get traded because again, we're 1 week away from February 5th, and that's the end of the trade deadline. And I just don't think Giannis is going to get traded, to be totally honest. Trae Young gets traded. We were waiting for that. He gets traded to Washington. I was thinking maybe some more dominoes are going to start falling, but it's been a really quiet trade deadline so far. So let me know what y'all think. I do not think Giannis is going to get traded before the deadline. I think he'll get moved in the offseason. Hopefully, otherwise he's just going to stay in Giannis and just stay in Giannis. He's going to stay in Milwaukee and just kind of blow his prime, to be honest, because I don't think Milwaukee is going to be able to build another championship level around Giannis, at least not for the next 4 or 5 years. And then again, he's 34, 35 years old. But please like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 7 million subscribers. Let me know what you think about the whole Giannis trade situation. Let me know if you think he's going to get traded. And we'll see y'all next time. Peace out, bro.